Hello guys, welcome to all of you in the data mindset. My name is Amit and I am your host for these sessions. In previous class we discussed about integers, we talk about float, we talk about string, we talk about list, and we also talk about few of the functionality related with string and some of the functionality related with list. Today we are going to continue with that discussions, and let's go and start it guys. Okay, so let's start some more functionality related with list. Okay, so I'm going to write a list over here. So let's say I'm just writing a is equal to, let's say 3 comma 5 comma 7 comma 9 comma 10 and comma 15. Okay, so now we are going to see some more features of this list, and then we will talk about some more functionality about list. What the feature we are going to talk about? The feature is the list mutable data type? Is list follow index? Okay, and so on. So first of all, we will talk about these two features. Okay, so the question is, what is meaning of mutable? The meaning of mutable is, okay, I'm just writing over. Meaning of mutable is editable or changeable, right? That means either you can edit this object or you can make changes inside this object. What is the meaning of that? So let's say we have some elements inside there. So now we can add some more elements inside it, and we can remove some element inside this from this element, from this list, right? So these are the features we are going to talk about it, and if it is able to do that, then we can say list is a mutable data types. If we are not able to make any changes inside the list, then we can say that is the list is immutable. So we are going to do this test, that can we make some changes inside the list or not. Okay, so let's go and do it. All right, so let me see. Okay, how you can do that? To do that, let me show you something very interesting. Let's say I'm just putting a, which is name of the variable, and then put dot press tab, a dot press tab. One second. Okay, it is maybe taking some time. Just a moment. Let me put it over here and a dot press tab. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, let me go back to here, and again I'm just putting, okay, don't know, come back here. Okay, so here you can able to see that inside this, okay, please do not understand it that you cannot see these are the functionality inside the same cell. You can able to see that, but maybe some small glitches could be possible. That's why you are not able to see that. And here, that's why I kept it in the next cell, which is cell number 46, and then you can able to see that the functionality which is related to list. Here you can see that append. Okay, here you can see that insert. Here you can see that remove. Here you can see pop. So by looking, these are the functions you can able to understand it is. You can insert the value inside the list. You can remove the value from the list. That means if these are the features are available, you can able to understand that the list can show the mutable behavior. Okay, so let me use this one of the functionality called a dot insert, and now look at there. it is asking for the index and it is asking for the object. Okay. Since we are going to since we have not talked about index as of now, okay, so what I'm going to do is, first of all, let me use a dot append. What append function does is, it is going to append the object to the end of the list. Okay, so let's say I'm going to use a dot append, and inside that list I'm going to store a new value called 100, and then I'm going to print a, right? So you can see that is the append. As for functionality, it is going to add the object to the end of the list, right? Now let me remove the any element from this list, so that I am using a dot remove, and from here, let's say I'm going to remove it 9, and then I'm going to print my list. So here you can see that the value of, here you can see that the 9 is getting removed from this list. So from these two operations, we can see that we can able to make the changes inside the list, and then we can say that by looking into this two functionality, we can able to add the elements, and we can able to remove the element from the list. By looking these two features, we can say that the list is mutable data object. List is the mutable data type. Now let's come back here and we will talk about index. Okay, to understand the index, I will try to show you something. Index in list. Okay. Okay. Let me write it down once again. I created a list called, let's say this time 2, 6, 8, 9, 10. Let's say I wrote it Java and I wrote it Python. So here you can see that is A is also a list which is holding the value of integer and string. So here A is a list which is having heterogeneous elements inside there. Now the question is, what is meaning of index? As per the programming, if you are going to read the object from left to right, so that means 2, 6, 8, 9, 10, Java and Python. If we are going to read the object from left to right, we follow the positive index. And if you are going to read the object from right to left, so that means first you are going to read Python, then you are going to read Java, then you are going to read 10, 9, 8, 6 and 2. So if you are going to read the object from right to left, then you follow negative index. And if you are going to read the object from left to right, you can say you are following positive index. So Python give you options to read the object from both the side, either from left to right or either from right to left. So let me come back to here and I will try to show you some more examples over here and how we can understand this example. So let's say I kept an object. Okay, I keeping a list over here. Please bear with me with my handwriting. So let's say I kept it 2, I kept it 10, I kept it 15, let's say I kept it 100, so here Python is giving you an options to read from this side to this side. So that means you are moving from left to right, which we say positive index, sorry for that. Okay, and if you are going to read from right to left, we say it is a negative index. okay, is a negative index. Sorry for my handwriting, please bear with me. Okay, now negative index start with -1, okay, start with -1. So the value of index of 100 will be -1, value of index for 15 will be -2, value of 10 will be -3, and the value of 4 will be -4 if you follow negative index. But in case of positive index, it start with 0, okay, and the value of index of 2 will be 0 when you follow positive index, value of index of 10 will be 1, value of index of 15 will be 2, sorry for that, just a moment. The value of index of 15 will be 2 and value of index of 100 will be 3. Okay. Okay, because just a moment. Okay. All right. So this is what we are trying to understand it. If you follow positive index, it will start with 0. If you follow negative index, it will start with -1, right? All right, now come back over here. It means that is, if we are going to talk about what is the index value of Python, then we can say it is -1. And what is the index value of 2? Then we can say it's a 0 if you follow positive index. Now the question is how we can write indexing, how we can write this feature inside the Python. So look at here how we can write it. So just put it over here. How we can use index operation, how we can use how we can use indexing in Python. Okay, so now you can use the variable of a and then followed by square bracket, and then you can put the index value inside the square bracket. So if I put 0, what is supposed to return me? 2. Sorry, 3. Why it is 3? Just a moment. Okay, I think I am not execute this piece of the code in that case. Okay, so it will return me 2 because the indexing value of 2 is 0. If I write 1, it's supposed to give me 6 because the index value of 6 is 1. If I write -1, it is supposed to give me Python because the index value of Python is -1, right? So this is how we can able to understand it if you follow the indexing. So now the question is why we need to study index. As you understand it, indexing is a very important concept to retrieve the data faster. So indexing concepts used in the multiple applications or multiple programming languages. For example, in SQL you can also study indexing while creating of the table. So by using index you can fetch the data faster. Okay, so indexing help us to retrieve the data faster, and that's why we can use indexing concept in a list to extract the information very faster. Now the concept is, since by using index at this moment we are able to fetch only one element, right? Because we have used only one index value, right? What I'm trying to say, since we have put only one index value inside the square bracket, in that case we are extracting only one values from the list. What will happen if you have to extract the multiple list, what will happen if you have to extract the multiple element from the list? How we can use this how we can use indexing in that cases. To answer these questions, let me do it. I'm just putting A over here and again putting the square bracket. Now let's say if I have to get the element from 8 to Java, okay? If I have to extract the element from 8 to Java, how we can do it? Since 8 is on my second indexing values, because 0 is 0 indexing value for 2, 1 indexing value for 6, and 2 indexing value for 8. So now what I'm going to do is I start with 2 followed by colon, and then it goes to, this is 9 is third indexing value, 10 is 4 indexing value, and Java is 5 indexing value. If I write 2 colon 5, let me show you what it is going to return me. It is going to return me only 8, 9 and 10. So in this case, the indexing is not going to reach on the last value. It is going to stop one previous value. Okay. To get that element, what we are trying to do is to get the element, for example, 8, 9, 10 and Java. So we have to increase the indexing value by 1. Since Java is on 5th indexing values, to get the Java over here, what we need to do is we have to increase the 1 values of this indexing values. So we can write 5 plus 1, which is nothing but 6. So instead of writing 5 plus 1, we can write 6. And now if I execute this piece of the code, we can get it 8, 9, 10 and Java, right? So if you look at over here, the entire piece of the code, so actually the structure of this code is start colon stop colon step. Now the question is, what is meaning of a step? Step is the way we try to read the element inside the list. So right now we are trying to read the element is 1 by 1, right? First we read 2, then we read 6, then we read 8, 9, 10 and so on. In this case, step is 1. So default step is 1. So let's say if I write A 2 colon 6 colon 1, it will give me the same value as above because the default step is 1. But let's say if I have to read this data, or you can see if you have to read the value of the list by skipping one element. So what is meaning of that? Because we have to read 2, then we have to left 6, then we have to read 8, then we have to read 9, then we have to left 10 and so. The meaning is we have to read the alternative element of this list. So how we can do it? We can increase the steps by 1. So because the default step is 1, so we have to increase the step by 1. So look at here. If I write A and then if you write it 2 followed by 6 and then followed by 1 plus 1 which is 2, then what is going to return me? It is going to return me 8 and 10. So how it is going to return me 8 and 10? Because the first element it is going to read 8, it is skipping 9 and it is reading 10. Since it is not going to reach over here, okay, since the last indexing value is 6 and it is going to stop over here because we have not given further indexing over there. So that's why it is going to read only 8 and 10 over here. So I hope you can able to understand the indexing concepts. Thank you guys. So in the next class, we will talk about some additional functionality of the list and we will see more details of this functionality. Thank you guys. Thank you once again. Hope you enjoy this session.